All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to give it a few more minutes before we get started, but I have an updated video that's just going to nauseate you even more. But that's what makes these live streams fun, don't it? Watch all these nauseating videos or talk about these nauseating things. Where would we be without these stories? Mm-mm-mm. So I hope everybody is having a good day. We are about to hit 80 degrees here in New Jersey. In fact, for the next couple of days, we're going to be hitting up in the 80s. And it is safe to say coronavirus is not dropping in the state, and we're in the 80s. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. You know, those of you in the South, I have a cousin down in the South, and I gave her my recipe for lemon box cake pie. Y'all know what a lemon box pie is? Well, at the end, she was like, "Oh, this looks so good. This looks like it's going to come out good." And I said, "It will." And she said, "Can I put whipped cream on it?" I said, "Now, if I want whipped cream, I'll make it. You know, you can make your own whipped cream out of heavy cream if you really want it. But I usually don't use it." So I had to tell her, I said, "Okay, you want whipped cream on it? You're going to have to get that can of whipped cream out the bedroom and put it on the pie." It's just low humor in there. But I have an update. Now, the woman that we labeled as Karen in this story, her real name is Amy Cooper. And believe it or not, the black guy's last name is Cooper. They're unrelated, no involvement or nothing. So I'm going to play the video of her apology. We know how we always get these, apologies after these racist acts. And let's face it, what this woman did is something that has occurred in this country for centuries. She weaponized her whiteness. That's what she did. She weaponized her whiteness, and she was hoping that this black man would get harmed or even killed by the cops that showed up. You saw how she was faking her hysteria. "Oh, he's throwing after me and my dog. Oh," that is how many black men in America lost their lives. It's not because they've done anything to these women, but these women know how to go from 0 to 90 with their hysterics and make things sound far more tragic than what they really are. Actually, she worked for an accounting firm. Believe it or not, this dingbat was a VP. Okay, she was a VP, y'all. And they have her on administrative leave, which means she's probably going to get terminated from her job. But we all know, the fake hysteria. Now we getting the fake out apology. Oh, and I'm not a racist. Oh, I'm not, that nonsense. So let me go ahead and share my screen, y'all, so you can see this performance from her. All right. All right. All right. You know what the drill is. If you can see my screen, please give me a 1. A lot of people were saying, y'all making so much out of the dog. It's only because she was choking the dog out on camera. That's the reason why there was such an issue. She was literally committing 2 crimes. She was falsifying a 911 call, and she was choking out her dog, committing animal abuse. So she's a multitasking criminal. All right, y'all. Thanks for the one. You know, look, I'm a former dog owner. My last dog lived for 19 years. So, yeah, you know, you see a dog choking and struggling, you're going to react. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I see plenty wrong with what she did. You know, all that man said was your dog is supposed to be on a leash. And he's right. I've been in Central Park before, and there's signs all over the place letting you know you can have your dog there, but the dog must be on a leash. And she decided to go in there with her unleashed dog. I mean, she was choking that damn dog out badly on camera. And the black man was saying, "Don't come near me." You could hear him saying, "No, don't come near me. He's just telling you to put the dog on the leash," right? All that other stuff she did on her own. And it was out of pure racism. That's what it was done out of. I mean, you can't justify what she did. It was just straight up racism. Her reaction was way off. You know, all she had to do was put that dog on the leash and go on about her business. She decided to stick around and put on that unnecessary performance. The sad part is when the cops came, they didn't really do nothing. They just saw it as a squabble, a little dispute. But she really should have been arrested for making a false 911 call. What she did could have easily got that black man killed. Look, we're only just a few weeks away from seeing what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. You know, I know that happened a few months ago, but we know what the climate is like in this country when it comes down to our black men being harmed by the police. Thank you, Zachy Storm and Demetrius L. Flag. Thank you so much for the super sticker and the super chat. Did you see the LinkedIn receipts? Yes. So let me go ahead and show you the latest video on this. This is NBC New York.
Tens of thousands of people have already watched that video showing a heated confrontation that many describe as racially charged. Tonight, both the man behind the camera and the woman in front of it are speaking only to News 4's Checky Beckford, who joins us live from the site of that squabble in Central Park. Checky.
Well, Stefan, it started with a dispute over an unleashed dog and ended with a woman frantically calling 911, claiming she was being threatened, even though video didn't appear to show that happening. Well, tonight we spoke both to that man and to the woman who basically said what she did was unacceptable and wants to apologize.
Please don't come close to me. Please don't come close to me.
It's a Central Park confrontation marked with racial undertones that's gone viral.
Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
At some point, she decided that, I'm going to play the race card, I guess.
Christian Cooper, an avid bird watcher, says he started recording after telling the woman her dog needed to be leashed at all times in an area known as the Ramble in Central Park.
If the habitat is destroyed, we won't be able to go there to see birds, to enjoy the plantings.
When the woman refused, he offered the dog a treat.
The only way they can keep the dog from eating the treats is to put it on the leash.
That's when, he says, she roughly grabbed the dog by the collar, told him to stop recording, and called police, referring several times to being threatened by, quote, an African-American man.
There is an African-American man in Central Park who's recording me and threatening myself and my dog.
Though Cooper does not appear to move any closer to the woman, her call becomes even more frantic.
I'm being threatened by a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
Cooper says he kept on recording because he had no intention of being intimidated.
I'm not going to participate in my own dehumanization. I'm not going to feed into this. We live in an age of Ahmaud Arbery where, black men are shot, gunned down because of the presumptions that people make about.
He stopped recording, walking away as soon as she leashed the dog.
Thank you.
Tonight, this woman, Amy Cooper, no relation to Christian, told News 4 she overreacted.
It's unacceptable. And words are just words, and I can't undo what I did. But I sincerely and humbly apologize to everyone, especially to that man, his family.
Amy apologized during our call, but also claimed that Cooper was screaming, that she felt threatened and didn't know what was in the dog treats. She says she regrets calling the police.
The police, I think of them as a protection agency. And unfortunately, this has caused me to realize that there are so many people in this country that don't have that luxury.
Now, again, Christian Cooper left shortly after that altercation. Police say they did respond to the 911 call, but just chalked it up to a verbal dispute. No complaint was filed. As for Amy Cooper, her employer, Franklin Templeton, a financial firm, tweeting out tonight that they don't condone racism of any kind and that they are investigating. Meanwhile, she has been placed on administrative leave. We're live at Central Park tonight. Jackie Beckford, News 4 New York.
All right, y'all. So that is her lame ass apology after attempting to get a black man murdered by the police. You know, that's how I see it. You know, she attempted to get a black man murdered by the police. Thank you, Ellen Collins, for the super sticker, and Franz Robert, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we have seen in the video and, you know, just all throughout history, what she did is actually historic. This is historic. This is how America is. This is how these women are raised. You're raising these women to do these acts. Come on now. We have seen this play out over and over and over and over. This is taught behavior. They are being raised to do this to black people. Okay. What she did, exactly. You know, she was hoping and praying the cops would come because she was all hysterical on the phone. They would come out to Central Park with the guns drawn on the black man. That's what she was aiming for. So to now come back and say, oh, well, you know, I'm sorry. That's not good enough. And we got to please stop accepting apologies when her whole actions are so unacceptable. It's not even funny. And she got more hysterical. You know what she was trying to do. She got more hysterical. Thank you, Versatile Legacy, for the super chat. So I'm going to let me just read this one to you. Okay. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. So now we know her name, Amy Cooper. And of course, this hit Twitter and it went crazy out on Twitter. You know, it went crazy. You know what? These apologies are tiring. We don't need no more apologies. We seriously, here's the best advice I can give you. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. When you see us and you got an issue with us, just go in the opposite direction. But we know they are never going to do that. That would be the righteous. If they want to be righteous, that would be the righteous thing to do. Okay. The evil thing to do is what Amy Cooper did. Stick around and try to kick up some hysterics over a bunch of nothing. Period. Okay. Now, how did the video get online? The black man, his name is Christian Cooper. He has a sister by the name of Melody Cooper. She uploaded the video on social media. So it was his sister that did it. And she was saying her brother likes going to Central Park to bird watch. And on Monday morning in Central Park, that's when he addressed a white woman who refused to leash her dog. So he filmed her rule breaking and she called the cops, a very Karen move. Now, I need to speak to your manager, Tone, you know, and she calls 911 acting all frantic on the phone as if she was being threatened. So she made life-threatening claims on 911. Okay, and we know why she did it. We know that was a move to get him harmed and killed. So in the meanwhile, Christian Cooper doesn't move towards her. And you can tell he wasn't moving towards her. The only one that was moving around was her and the dog. And the dog was really struggling because her dumb ass was choking him out. So you can clearly see this black man was not moving from his spot at all. She was the only one moving around. So on Facebook, Christian explained what happened before the video began. He told her to leash the dog. When she didn't, he offered the dog a treat. Since he notes the news interviews and carries treats for such things. So he always has little treats and everything while he's out there bird watching. But wow, at that point, the woman becomes hostile. Don't touch my dog. Then he began filming. The video spread, of course, all over social media. Now, as of yesterday, I believe 7 million views were on that video alone. It is multiple stories out on the news outlets about this. So it has spread like wildfire. So Amy Cooper is no relationship. She has no relations with Christian or Melanie. The story sparked outrage on Twitter, with many calling Amy Cooper's action racist and dangerous. And it was. It was. Like I said, she weaponized. She does what we have seen all throughout history, weaponizing their whiteness against someone black. So her actions were evil. And then listening to her shriek and scream all over the phone. So this is how many African American men were lynched in this country. Karen is a racist. This is what was going down on Twitter. And I can't say I disagree. Her behavior was just foul. Amy Cooper was not just publicly shamed for her heinous behavior. The video depiction of the alleged animal abuse led to her dog being surrendered to the abandoned Angel Cocker Spaniel rescue. So they put out a tweet. And it says, "Thank you for the concern." So I believe people that knew her must have contacted them, because I was wondering, how did they know, the dog was connected to her? But apparently somebody knew, because they placed a call to these people. Thank you, Cap, for the super chat. Karen forgot to say, I have a black friend. You're right about that. Yeah, she didn't say that. So anyway, somebody must have ratted on her, or they knew that that dog was a rescue dog and where she got it from, because in order for them to show up, I'm sure they didn't just know this automatically unless it was brought to their attention. So whoever she's around obviously ratted her ass out. So they put out a tweet. They're called Abandoned Angels Cocker Spaniel Rescue, Inc. Thank you for the concerned public for reaching out to us about the video involving a dog that was adopted from a rescue a few years ago. As of this evening, the owner has voluntarily surrendered the dog in question to our rescue while this matter is being addressed. Our mission remains the health and safety of our rescue dogs. The dog is now in our rescue care, and he is safe and in good health. We will not be responding to any further inquiries. about the situation, either publicly or privately. Thank you for your understanding. So now that they got the dog, they don't want people just randomly calling over and over. And I guess that's really disruptive. She has also been put on administrative leave from her job as VP of Investment Solutions at Franklin Templeton. Woo, can you imagine the phone calls her job got? People recognized her. And the company tweets this statement. We take these matters very seriously, and we do not condone racism of any kind. While we are in the process of investigating the situation, the employee involved has been put on administrative leave. So Anderson Cooper interviewed her, apparently. Amy Cooper lamented to CNN. This is what she said. My entire life is being destroyed right now. Well, you did that to yourself. You did that shit to yourself. What do you mean your life is being destroyed? You destroyed yourself. All right? Nobody did that to her. She did this to herself. My entire life is being destroyed right now. She insisted, I'm not a racist. I did not mean to harm that man in any way. She also said, I think I was just scared. Okay, well, if you're scared, how many people get on the phone and try to act like somebody is harming them in a park to 911 because they're scared? There was still one option for her. She could have leashed the dog and walked away. Okay? If she would have leashed the dog and walked away, she would not have lost a thing in her life. All right? Plain and simple. When you're alone in the ramble, you don't know what's happening. All right? This is what she's saying. You don't know what's going to happen is exactly why Christian Cooper recorded their interaction. He told CNN, I videotaped it because I thought it was important to document things. Unfortunately, we live in an era with things like Ahmaud Arbery, where Black men are seen as targets. Right. And even when he wasn't trying to be menacing to her, she still made him a target, but he was not that. You know, he didn't move from his spot. So therefore, he couldn't have been that big of a threat. Okay, unfortunately, I read that part. This woman thought she could exploit that to her advantage, and I was not having it. Good for him. You know, and that's what our men have to do. You know, when you see these kind of women coming at you, you got to counteract it. And he did the right thing by recording it, because when you watch the recording, it is very plain that he was not trying to harm her or the dog. She was more harmful to that dog than he was. He was trying to offer the dog a treat, and she was choking her own damn dog out. And I mean, how do you get so distracted that you got your dog flailing all around you because he can't breathe? I guess I can't breathe must be a New York thing, huh? Ooh, these people are a mess. They are a mess. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been our reality for centuries. We've been putting up with this shit forever now. You know, and some days when you look at these kind of stories, it's like, when is this shit going to end? When is it going to end for real? You know, you just get so sick and tired of seeing these stories play out over and over and over. Thank you, Night to Shady, for the super sticker. You just get sick of this shit. You know, somewhere along the line, it's got to end. Woo, you would think, you know, we're in this pandemic, and New York actually is one of the worst places in the country for the pandemic. And I guess I guess Karen just don't take a break, y'all. She don't take a break. She don't take a break for holidays. She don't take a break for pandemic. She don't take a break for nothing. Oh boy. You know, I really truly hate seeing this happen to our men. You know, it doesn't matter how you feel, good or bad. I still don't like seeing this happen to any of our men. And now I am reading through another story that I'm probably going to put out a little later in a premiere where another Black man has been choked out by a cop. And the whole thing is caught on film. And now I got to get through this. I hate these stories. When I had to do Eric Garner, it took me about 3 days to get around to that story because it psychologically jacked me up to see that man get choked out on that sidewalk. Now there's a new one where a cop choked out another brother and he's dead now. So y'all look for that. I'm probably going to do that one like around 4 o'clock. So just look for that hangout. I mean, not hangout, I'm sorry. That premiere that I will be doing tonight. And I tell you, if it's not one thing, it's another. So y'all, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Thank everybody in the chat for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. As usual, I pray that our Heavenly Father keeps that hedge of protection around each and every one of you, and that you stay safe and sheltered and all of your needs are met during this time that we're locked down. Peace, family.